Hello friends, welcome to this online Cybermetric workshop course. This is Dr. Abu KS, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Library and Information Science from Central University of Punjab. My topic for presentation is using Viewers Viewer for creating information visualization maps based on datasets extracted from Web of Science, Scopus and PubMed. So first we will see how to download and run the Viewers Viewer application. So go to Google and type Viewers Viewer in it. So you will see the first result that will take you to the official website of Viewers Viewer. Just click on it. The official website of Viewers Viewer will be opened, and there are several menus on that Viewers Viewer website. Just go to the download menu, and you can see Viewers Viewer application is available for different systems. So according to your system requirements, you can download it. Since I'm using Windows, I'm going to download the Windows version of this software. Just double click Windows version. The download will start automatically. So I'll just cancel this for time being because I have already downloaded it and saved it in my personal folder, and I will just show you that. It will be downloaded as a zip folder. So once you extract the zip folder, the contents of the folder will look like this. So you will have sample data sets, history about the software, license agreement, and manual. A manual is a tutorial of how to use the software, and then the actual application itself. So it is easy to locate the application. It consists of Viewers Viewer icon. So I'll just open the application. I have opened the application. So this is how it looks like when you open the Viewers Viewer application for the first time. So this is the home page of Viewers Viewer. There are three panels. You can see that one is the left panel, and the middle panel, and the right panel. The left panel consists of menus for creating and importing files from your local computer, local system, and the middle panel is the mail panel, which displays the citation, which displays the visualization maps, and the right panel consists of certain indices and certain labels where you can change the font size, the scales, the parameters, etc., colors, etc. The formatting panel. So I will just give an overview about this Viewers Viewer application. So for that, first I will use the sample data set to show you how to create map based on it. To use the sample data set, just click open. Every time you download Viewers Viewer, the sample data set also will be downloaded by default. So when you click the open menu, a new tab and a new pop-up tab will appear. So it indicates that we have to upload either Viewers Viewer file or Pajak file or GML file. So Viewers Viewer file is snap file is a mandatory file, and network file is optional. If you have network file, you can upload it, or else don't need. But map file is a mandatory file. I'll just click it, and just when you click it, it will open the extracted folder automatically. You just click the data inside it, and these are the sample map files, the sample files actually. So I will select journal map file. Similarly, I will select network file also. This sparse.txt, this is a network file, but all the file will be saved as a text extension only. Though it's a network file, the extension for saving those files is .txt only. Then click OK. See, a map has been generated based on the data files we have uploaded. We have uploaded a journal file. This journal This journal file consists of data about journals in the field of economics and management. Okay, so we can see 4 different colors. We call them as clusters. Clusters means grouping of items together based on their similarity or likeness. Okay, we can see 4 clusters, 5 clusters based on the different colors. These clusters are grouped accordingly based on their similarity. One more thing you need to understand is when two items are nearer or in the closer proximity, it indicates that their association or their relation is strong actually. This is how it interprets the data. So we will see what these clusters and colors are about actually. So we can see 5 colors, right? Red, violet, green, yellow, and blue. So there are what is a different terminologies, different journal names. These terminologies are journal names in different clusters. So to get a broader understanding of these clusters, I will just zoom in to any one of the cluster. So let me take the red cluster, right? So see, the red clusters, I can read names like J. This is J Politeconomic. That means Journal of Political Economics. This is one of the the drawbacks of viewers here. You don't get the full names. You don't get the full names of the journal. You'll just, even though for authors or other terminologies, you won't get the full names. You'll get only the half names. So you have to interpret it carefully. So J Politeconomy is Journal of Political Economy. J Apple APPL Econometrics, Journal of Applied Econometrics. So there is this red cluster deals with economics review econometrics. So we can name them as economics. And this violet cluster deals with finance, corporate finance, accounting. So we can name them as finance and accounting. And similarly, the green cluster deals with strategic management journal, manage administration. So management and administration, the green cluster. Whereas yellow cluster deals with marketing and business strategies, and whereas and blue cluster deals with decision support system, uh, operation research, etc. So based on their similarity, these clusters are formed. So so after doing an in-depth analysis of these clusters, you have to name the clusters and write interpretations for them. So in order to get a comprehensive understanding and a broader understanding, you just click the items menu in the left panel. It will show you the cluster. So you can see there are 232 items. Items in the sense, in this context, is the journal's name. Name of the journals is item. So 232 journals are included in this analysis, in this map actually. So these 232 journals are grouped into 5 clusters, as I said earlier. The first cluster consists of 109 items. So the first cluster is the red cluster. So we have to name economy, and we have to name the cluster based on the names of the journal. We can name it as economics, as I said earlier. Similarly, second cluster, when you scroll down, you will get the other cluster. This is fifth cluster. It consists of 20 items: account, auditing, corporate finance, financial management. This is the fifth cluster. Except that violet one is the fifth cluster. So based on their similarity, based on the terminologies and name of the journals used in this cluster, you have to name them accordingly and you have to group them. It will group it automatically, but you have to understand the similarity in the cluster and then write the analysis or interpretation accordingly. So this is how you do the analysis of the map actually. And then when you see the types of visualization, now you are in network visualization. If you want, you can change it into overlay. Overlay changes the color of the visualization, but it doesn't change the cluster actually. The colors will be changed, and you can go for density. Density is good to identify a particular cluster or a particular item. It's easy to locate in density visualization. So density visualization, you can you can visualize the density based on items or based on cluster. So this is cluster density. based on cluster, the density will be visualized. Here, based on item, the density will be visualized. I'll come back to network visualization. And then when you come to the right panel, you can see the visualization scale. So now the analysis is based on the citations of the citations received by the journal. Citations received by the journal actually. The parameter is the citation received by the journal. They are ranked accordingly, they are grouped accordingly. Now we can change the parameter to links or total links. See, there is subtle change in the network. Similarly, we can change the parameter for our convenience of analysis. So in the bottom of the screen, you can see the number of items, number of clusters, number of links, and the strength of the link. Strength of the link indicates that the association between those journals are strong actually. So then we can see we can what do you say we can variate the size. That means increase the font size, increase the length of the nodes or networks, and we can change the clusters are represented in circle, right? We can change them into rectangular boxes. When you click frames, it will appear like this. It will give a better understanding for reading the names of the journal if it's in frames. And if it's in circle, it will be a little bit difficult. So according to our convenience, we can change it, and we can change the font also. And these are the line variations. Minimum strength should be the minimum strength is default to 0, and maximum lines is up to 1000. And we can change this parameter. We can change this threshold according to our convenience. And colored lines and curved lines. If you just uncheck this box, the lines which are curved will be removed. Only straight lines will be there. Straight and colored lines will be there. And you can change the color of clusters also according to your convenience. I don't want blue color. I want or some other color, means you can change it according to your convenience. And you can change the background also. So this is a black background. It looks more fancier. So this is an overview. This is an overview of how to open a map in Viewers Viewer. So after this, and after you have analyzed the clusters, and after you have created a map, you want to save it, right? And you have to save it for further use. You can do that, can be easily done. So there is an option for save and screenshot. Instead of saving, you just click screenshot. You just click the drop down menu of screenshot. It will ask for save. Just click save it, and whatever format you want, you can just save it either in GIF, PDF, or JPEG, or PNG, TIFF, anything, whatever which is convenient to you, you can save it. If you want to save it as an image file, and JPG would be advisable. And then you can name the file, and then save it. I'll just name it as file itself and then save it. It will be saved in the destination folder. So now I think you might have got an overview about how to run a map and use your. So now I have showed you the sample data set. So what about creating our own data set? So for example, we say we have Web of Science data. We want to create our own map for this data. How will you do that? I'll show that. For that, we have to download Web of Science data, right? So I will take you to Web of Science and show you how to download the data and how to import the data in Viewers Viewer and how to create map and analysis based on those data. Okay, we'll move to Web of Science. So I am in the home page of Web of Science. I'm in the home page of Web of Science. As you know, Web of Science is not a free database. It is a commercial citation, subscription-based citation and indexing database maintained by Clarivate Analysis. It is not available for free. It has to be subscribed by institutions or libraries or organizations which require them. Since my institution is subscribing this, I am using it. to its login credentials. So this will be the home page of Web of Science. So before typing a query in it, before typing a query, we need to ensure that the database is selected as Web of Science core collection. That usually the default will be all databases. You have to change it into Web of Science core collection, and then you can type your search query in the given space. So for this views here analysis, we will do a sample search of we will download the data of a particular journal of American Society of Information Science and Technology. So this is for an example, I am just taking this. I am going to analyze the research productivity of this journal, of this particular journal of the American Society for the Information Science and Technology. So this is my search query. I have typed the name of the journal. But here you see the field is in topic. So this is not a topic actually. This is the name of a journal. So we have to change the field accordingly. So what is it? It is the name of the publication. So I have changed it accordingly, name of the publication. When you say this is one of the oldest journal, so I am planning to refine it for 10 years. So what I'll do, I'll just add another operator, and operator, and I will just type 10 years. Okay, 2004 to 2013. So again, I have to change the field accordingly. Since this is year, I'll change year published. So similarly, you can change the year in time span also. 2004. Instead of giving it as an AND operator, you can change in 2004 to 2013 in the time span also. So my search query is the name of the journal, and the restriction is from the year 2004 to 2013. So everything is set. The other settings are default. I'm not going to touch on those, and I'll just click search. It will take you to the resulting page. So this is the result of the productivity of the Journal of American Society of Information Science for the period of 2004 to 2013. During the period, we can see 2099 publications have been published by this journal. So we have to import the data. We have to download the data and import it into the viewer for further analysis. Before downloading the data, and I will show you what are the parameters and what are the analysis available in the Web of Science itself. Actually, so Web of Science, as I said earlier, it is a citation and indexing database. It doesn't provide full text actually. It provides bibliographical and citation information about publications. So what are the information? What are the information that is being provided by Web of Science? We can just see on those. So there is a column. So here you can see time cited. Here you can see time cited, and next to the publication we can see the time cited. That means that this particular publication has been cited by 17 papers. It has been, the citation of this particular publication is 17. And if I click this time cited, it will automatically arrange the publication in descending order of citation. That means from highest to lowest citation. So the maximum citation for the publication of our time period is 1829. That is the highest citation received by the publication during the given period. So that is the title. So that is the corresponding title of this publication. So this is how you do time cited. When you analyze based on the time cited only, you can calculate H index and G index. So now I will show you what are the other results you can analyze. Just click on the analyze results. It will take you to the pages. So these are the data which are available in Web of Science. Publication years, document types of documents includes articles, book reviews, editorial reviews, and other documents. And there are two types of default visualization are available in Web of Science. One is tree map and one is bar graph. You can download them if you want it, and if you want to copy in a table or text format, you can copy it and paste it, or you can download it as an Excel CSV format also. So publication years, funding agencies, authors, source titles, book series titles, countries, editors, etc. These are the basic details. So these are the basic details we can get from Web of Science. So you can copy this, data, and you can copy this data separately according to your requirements and paste it in your own folder for further analysis. And you can also create citation report of this publication. Citation report includes the number of publications, the number of citations received, the number of self-citations, the other details of it. So you can download all the files in the Excel format, and it will give a comprehensive view about the data. It will consolidate the data for you, and it will be easy to make further analysis based on this data. So these are the basic features offered by Web of Science. So now, since we are going to do information visualization map map based on Web of Science data, we are using Viewer software. So for that, we need to download Web of Science data. How to download it? So here you can see there is an option for export. Right. I'm just going to click export. I'm just going to click the export button, and there are lots of drop-down options. You can export it to EndNote. If you have EndNote account, you can export it to EndNote desktop or online account. Other file formats in R to Problons or Insights or Flux. Email it also. But for Viewer, we have to download it as a text file or tab delimited file. For that, I have to click other file formats. When you click other file formats, a new window will open like this. One of the limitations of downloading files in other file format is you cannot download more than 500 files at a time. Our results have 2099, which means we have to download 5 files separately. So we have to download 5 files separately. So 5 files separately comprising of 500 records each. So similarly, we have to do that. So first to 500, I will download it. Records from, this is, I have to click records from, you cannot records from 1 to 500, and then the record contains this full text and cited references. Cited references is important because to do citation analysis. File format, this is very important. Either you can download as plain text or tab delimited. Since I'm using Windows OS, I'm going to download it as tab delimited Windows. Okay, the parameters are set, and I'm just going to click ending 500 records. So similarly, we have to download other 500 till the 2099 data have been downloaded. This is how you have to download. Here the text file has been downloaded. So I'll just show it in folder. So for your convenience, I have already downloaded the 5 sets of data and renamed them according to their order. So you see the first data 1 to 500. This data I have renamed this as 1 to 500, and the second data as 5001 to 501 to 1000, then 1001 to 1500, 1501 to 2000, 2001 to 2009. Since the records only 2099. Sorry, I'll rename it 2099. Yeah, this is how I have downloaded the data. So similarly, you can also download it by changing the number of records. Okay, I'll just show you this. Let's just export, the other 500 will download. Similarly, you can download the data till our result. So 2099 data. So now the data have been downloaded. I'll take you to Viewer to show you how to import the downloaded Web of Science data. So this is where we were, the Viewer software. So now we are going to create our own map based on the Viewer data. So what you have to do is, in the left hand side panel, there is an option for create. Just click it, and it will ask you 3 options: create a map based on network data, map based on bibliographic data, and map based on text data. So since ours is a bibliographic data, we have to choose either bibliographic or text data because ours is not a network data. So before going into bibliographic data, I'll I will create a map based on text data because the data I need to get a understanding about this data. Okay, to get an understanding about this data, what are the topics? For example, what are the terms that has been frequently published in this journal? I need to get an understanding about this. To overview about the data, I first create a map based on the text data. This text data gives you a overview, an introduction to the data. Based on that, you can get an understanding, and then you can go for bibliometric analysis, bibliographic analysis. So text data gives you term occurrences. What are the terminologies that are frequently used by the authors to publish in this particular journal? So that is how we are going to analyze. I'll just create next. Click next. So again, it is asking options for importing data. So ours is the Web of Science data, right? So we have to check the box, read from bibliographic database files because ours is a Web of Science data. And it also supports other data files as we saw, viewers files and reference managers. You can download files from RefWorks, RIS, EndNote also, and you can download through API also. Microsoft Academic Search Engine and other semantic scholars also you can download, and you can analyze the data from those databases also. But since ours is a Web of Science, we have to restrict our option to bibliographic database files, and then click next. So now in this also we are having 3 to 4 options: Web of Science, Scopus, Dimensions, and PubMed. Ours is Web of Science, so I'm going to stick on with the Web of Science menu, and I'm going to open the location of the data where I have stored it. Just go to this. This is the 5 data: 1, 2, 3, 4, and I'll just click OK. All the 5 data have been uploaded, and just click next. So now it is asking for options, field from which terms will be extracted. It is better to extract both from title and abstract field instead of selecting from any one. It's better to get an analysis from both the parameters because it will help you to get a better understanding of the terminologies used by the author. And then again next, we have to go step by step. Now the terminologies are extracting. Viewers uses NLP technique to extract the terms. NLP is nothing but natural language processing. It is a topic of machine learning, which is used to do text mining and text content analysis and sentiment analysis. NLP is one of the widely recognized techniques for term analysis. So NLP technique is being used by users here. For the counting method, I will just set it as default. I'm not going to dwell on this. You see, there are 27,919 terms. Okay, there are totally 27,919 terms are available. So we can set the parameter, we can set the threshold to our convenience based on the occurrence of the term. So the default occurrence is 10. That means a particular term has to occur at least 10 times. For example, if I take a term, if I take a term, for example, we say impact factor. The term impact factor will be appearing 10 times or more than 10 times. Then only it will be included in the analysis. So when we select 10, when we select 10 as a threshold, there are 723 terms. See, when I increase, it will decrease. When I select 11, it becomes 61. Well, so we'll keep it as 15. So 15 is 485 terms. And if I select one, all the 27,919 terms will be included. So I'm going to keep the threshold as, and then I'm going to click next. So again, it is asking for 485 terms a relevance score. Relevance score will be calculated for all the terms. For the most relevant score only will be selected for further analysis, and the selection will be based on 60% of the top relevant scores. 60% of 485 will result in 291 terms. So if you want to check all the 485, you can type 485 here. You can change it, or if you want only the 60%, you can change it. You can change it to 291. It is according to your convenience. So let it be. I'll just keep it as default. The top 60% of relevant terms will be included for further analysis. So it is calculating the relevant scores now, and it will update. See, it has generated a table, terminologies, their occurrences, and relevant scores. The relevant scores. And now we can, if you want, you can, what do you say? You can save this table also. You can save this table in CSV format, Excel format also, or including in your manuscript. Save this table. Just right click on it, select all items, and again right click on it, export selected items. The files of type, we have to change it into CSV, comma separated values. And we will name this as terms, right? Terms of occurrence. And just export. It will be automatically exported to the destination folder. And now we will finish this and see how the map comes out. Wow, the map looks great actually. It is in the black background because for the previous analysis we selected the background as black, and I'll just uncheck it. This is the map of our data. Okay, our data of Journal of American Association of Science and Technology. That is the data. We can clearly see that there are three clusters, only three clusters, green, blue, and red, right? So we will see what these clusters are about. I'll just zoom in into the green cluster. When I see green cluster, what is that? In the green cluster, the terms are behavior, experience, perception, participant interaction, goal, students, interview, survey. This means this cluster, this terminology deals with information science or information behavior or survey studies. Okay. We'll come to red cluster. We'll see what are the terms included in this red cluster. Impact, year, field, science, publication, indicator, index, number. So this red cluster, we can see based on the terms, we can say that this cluster deals with bibliometric and scientometric analysis. And we'll come to the blue cluster. We'll see what blue cluster deals with. Algorithm, performance, experiment, query, problem, task, decision support. Okay, this cluster deals with information retrieval. So I am naming them based on the similarity of the terms used in the cluster. Accordingly, you have to do analysis of these clusters separately and name them. So based on this map, what you can interpret is the publications of the Journal of Journal of American Association of Science and Technology for the period of 10 years, published contents in three broad categories. We can name it like the three broad categories. And what are the? One is bibliometrics and scientometrics. One is about information behavior survey studies or information science studies, and one is about information retrieval. So we have to give analysis like this. So based on this term analysis, we got an overview about the contents published in that particular journal for a given time period. I hope you understand this map actually. So if you want to get a better understanding of the clusters, again I refer you to click the items menu to see the clusters. So cluster 1 consists of 1 or 2 items, and you can see the words. So G index, H index, distribution difference, increase ISA. Definitely they are bibliometric. They are the terms of bibliometric topics only. So that's how we have to group them. We have to name them. So we have to name the clusters for a better understanding. So we are doing a term analysis. So term analysis indicates that the contents published in this journal can be categorized into three broad categories. So these are the three broad categories. So this is how we have to write interpretation for this map. Okay, you have to do an in-depth analysis of this cluster and see. So others are just similar only. You can change the visualization density as I told you earlier, and you can change the cluster colors, and you can change the parameters based on occurrences or based on links or based on trends. So links is nothing but when the link is high, the strength of the link is high. That means association between those two terminologies is good actually. So in the bottom of the screen, you can see that the number of clusters, number of links, and the total strength link. So now you can save this map in the screenshot. Okay. And then I want to save it as an image file. I'll just save it as again term occurrence. Term occurrence. Already I have saved it, I think. And I'll just cancel this. Okay. So this is how you create a map based on text data. So we will see how to create co-citation. What do you see? You see other types of analysis. How to do other types of analysis like citation analysis, authorship analysis, and what do you call that? And other bibliometric analysis, bibliometric indicators you can do with this data. And again, you have to go to create. Now you have to create a map based on bibliographic data, not on text. Text we have finished it. We got an overview about the contents of publications published in the journal for the period of 10 years. Now we are going to do a bibliographic analysis of this data. Just click next. Again, we are reading data only from Web of Science, and then click next and export the same 5 files 1, 2, 5, and then click OK. Next, reading the data, and now you see different kind of analysis has been presented. So there are 5 types of analysis, and there is unit of analysis for each type. For example, if you want to analyze co-authorship, you want to analyze authorship pattern or co-authorship, you can analyze the co-authorship, collaboration of authors, collaboration of organizations, and collaboration of countries. If you want to analyze co-occurrence, you can analyze the co-occurrence of keywords actually. So if you want, you can include all the keywords or only the author keywords or only keyword plus. That is up to your convenience. If you want to do a citation analysis, you can do citation analysis of documents, journals. Sources means journals or book reviews or whatever the source which the publication has been published, and author citations of authors, organizations, and countries. Bibliographic and co-citation are two unique features of US Viewer. So bibliographic applicant co-citation. How to explain this? Let me bring this straight actually. Let me explain this to you in a very simple way. For example, you take 3 documents. You will name these documents as A, B, and C. Okay. When A and B together cite, when A and B together cite the document C in their publication, it is called as bibliographic coupling. When the document C cites A and B in its publication, it is called as co-citation. I think this is one of the simplest definitions of it. And you can do co-citation bibliographic analysis based on cited references, authors, sources, and bibliographic coupling based on documents, sources, authors, organizations, and countries. So we will do what you say. We'll take any one. We will see how we can do this analysis. So I'll take co-authorship of countries. We'll keep it that way. So we'll keep it that way. The other parameters, I will just leave it as default. I'll just click next. So you can see there are 60 countries. That means 60 countries have contributed to the research publications of this particular journal for the period of 10 years. That is 2004 to 2004. The minimum number of documents for a particular country, by default, it's 5. Take 5 means only 36 countries will meet the parameter, will meet the threshold. Since there are only 60 countries, 60 countries less. So we will keep the parameter as 1, right? We'll keep the parameter as 1. When you keep it as 1, you can see all the 60 countries will be included. That means there are countries with only 1 publication. Okay. So if you change it, the countries will become less. See, 47. When I change it into 2, there are only 47 countries. That means 13 countries are like this. You can do the analysis. That means 13 countries are 1 publications, right? So you see, 50 countries, when I set the parameter as 1, threshold as 1, you can see all the countries have been included. When I set the parameter as 2, 13 countries have been excluded. That means 13 countries have 1. Like this, you can create your own table. 13 countries have only 1 publication. And when I set the parameter as 3, 4 has been again excluded. That means 17 countries have 2 publications. So like that, like that. So 43 countries are 3 publications. Like that, you can analyze accordingly. So I'll keep the parameter to 1 and minimum number of citations of a country. Okay. The default is 0. If I change this into 1, 59 countries made the threshold. That means one country has not received any citations at all. That is the interpretation of this. One country has not received any citation. But the remaining 59 countries have received at least 1 citation. That is the meaning of this. So we will include all the countries. We don't want to leave out any, so we'll keep it as 0. Okay. I'll just click next. So for each of the 60 countries, the strength of the strength link will be calculated, and the countries with the greatest strength link will be selected. Okay, fine. So all the 60 will be included, and then see, this is the table I was talking about. So we can see that country, name of the country, the number of documents published by that country, the citation received by that particular country, and the link strength. The link strength indicates the association. That means a collaboration of this country. Okay, the higher the link strength, the higher the collaboration level of that particular country. Okay, and we saw one thing, that one country has 0 citations. We can easily find out which country has 0 citation. See here, Romania is a country with 0 citations. This is how you can just, what do you say? You can just interpret in your manuscript when you're doing. These are the patterns and these are the analysis you have to focus on and write in your manuscript. Because just copying, pasting, and presenting the table is not sufficient for bibliometrics. You have to do an in-depth analysis. Okay, simple data can be presented in a different way. Okay, when you understand the pattern, this is called as mining. We do data mining actually. So this Romania has 0 citations. For example, but it has it has only 1 publication. Okay, 1 publication, they didn't receive any citations. So that is not bad actually. Only 1 publication. If it is more than 10 to 15 publication, if it doesn't receive citation, we can say that the publication are not up to the standards, or publication, they may be outdated or something. But when you see Saudi Arabia, they have also published only 1 publication, but they have received 9 citations. But Romania, they have published 1 publication, they didn't receive any citation. That is the only country with 0 citations. If you want a better understanding and if you want to enrich your article, you just read that 1 publication and see on what topic it focuses and why they didn't publish actually. Because 2000, we are taking the data from 2003 to 2014. Now it is 2020, right? So citation takes years to accumulate, but it's more than 5 years. It should have been accumulated by now. Since it is not accumulated, so we can interpret it. Maybe this topic may be outdated. Like that, we can give our interpretation based on the analysis of that particular article. Like that, you have to read the article and write it. So we will just move on to the next section of creating the map. So this is a table. Similarly, you can select the countries by right-clicking it and export selected countries. Again, country details. I will say countries, and I will save it as CSV files for further analysis. I'll just click finish. See, it is asking that 60 items are not connected to each other. Yeah, out of the 60 countries, only 52 items are connected. It is asking whether it wants to show us all the 60 countries or only the connected countries. So that means 8 countries have not collaborated with anyone. That is the meaning of this. So I want only only the collaborative network. So I'll just click yes. If you want to show all the 60, click no. If you want to show only the collaborative items of 52, just click yes. See, this is the collaborative items of the country. You can see that USA with the maximum number of publication, which is being centered in the publications. And for get in-depth analysis of the cluster with which country whom have collaborated, like that, we put the items. See, there are 12 clusters. Brazil, Germany, Israel, Portugal, Romania. Though Romania have collaborated with these countries, that publication didn't receive any citation. Okay, that one publication didn't receive any citation at all. Okay, Romania has collaborated with the remaining country, but that publication didn't receive any citation. So that is the meaning of this. So to get a better understanding of these clusters, you have to read the collaborative articles of these countries, because there are only 6 items, right? So you can read that and you can get a better understanding which country has received more citations and what method. You'll see where USA is. I think USA is in 8th cluster. USA, Turkey, Singapore. They have collaborated more. So this is the collaborative. This is a cluster based on their collaboration. So again, you can change the maps according to your convenience. You can change the colors and other formatting parameters according to your convenience. If this thing about this, what do you say? Thing about this creating maps is it is not just creating maps, copying and pasting in your manuscript. You have to give the interpretation properly. That is the most important thing. You have to explain it to the reader that what does this map indicate, what that this picture say actually. That is the main point of this main point of writing the article. Just copying and pasting this map in the article does not enrich it. The perfect interpretation and in-depth interpretation of that particular map gives the article a more richer value. Make sure that you understand the patterns and clusters. For better understanding of the clusters and patterns and how these clusters are generated, I suggest you to read the manual. Manual is here. About VioSphere is also here. You can read this for for further references. I'm just giving an overview. So I'll show you how to create. We have created a collaboration based on countries. You will see other parameters. We'll see citation of authors. We can just see citation of authors. Yeah. So there is one parameter. Ignore documents with large number of authors. Maximum number of authors per document is 25, which means that if the publication has 26 authors, it will be excluded from the analysis. 25 authors itself is large number, so we will keep it as it is. So other parameters, let it be the default mode, and I will just. So we can see that there are 3004 authors contribute to this publication to this journal for the period of 10 years. Oh, again, when I change the parameter change the threshold, you can see the difference. You can see the changes in threshold values respectively. So I'll keep it as 1. When I keep it as 1, it will include all the authors, right? Because all the authors have at least one publication, then only they will be included in this analysis. So if I keep it as 2, that means 632. 632 means the threshold. This is how you generate authorship pattern. So that means 3,004 authors have at least one publication. 632 authors have at least 2 publications each. 259 authors have 3 publications each. This is how you generate authorship pattern. Okay, so what we'll do, we'll keep the threshold as a default 5 itself. So 85 authors meet the threshold. If you want to analyze the citations, this is citation analysis, right? So you can include the citations of the author. So when I keep it as 0, you see all the 85 will be included. When I include citation as 1, 3 has been excluded, only 82 was there. It means out of the 85 authors, 3 authors did not receive any citations, even though they have 5 publications to their credit. Okay, that is the meaning of this. They have 5 publications, but they didn't receive any citation. Okay. When I change the parameter into 281, 1 has been reduced. So one author has only 2 citations for those 5 publications. So you can do, this is called in-depth mining analysis. So you can set the threshold as at least 1 with at least 1 citation. This is citation analysis, right? At least 1 citation should be there to get into the to get into further analysis. I'll just click next. Again, all the 82 authors will be selected and the link will be calculated accordingly. So this is the table of authors. So this is the name of the author, number of documents published, citation received by that particular author, and the total spend. I'll just click next. So out of 82 items, items in the sense that here authors. Don't confuse items with some other terminologies. Items in the sense here it is authors. Out of 82 authors, the longer Raja said connected items are 76 authors only. So 6 authors are not connected with each other. So it's better to exclude them. We will just see the collaborative network of the connected authors. I'll just click yes. So 6 authors will be excluded. You have to mention this in our methodology also. Why these 6 authors has been excluded for further analysis. It will be clearer for the readers if you mention it. So see, this is a good graph actually. This is a good graph of the collaboration of the authors, and there are several clusters. There are more than I think 6 to 7 clusters. So to do a in-depth analysis of these clusters, I'll just take the items. So 8 clusters are there. So cluster one is they have grouped based on these authors, and you have to understand why they have grouped these authors in one cluster and these authors in second cluster. Means you have to you have to take the publications of those authors and see their collaborative pattern. How to do it in the boss. Then only you will get an understanding about this graph. So why they have clustered this? Why they have grouped these 17 authors in one cluster? There must be a strong association between them. Then only the software might have been grouped it. So see what is the association between them and what topics they have been collaborating and what work they are doing. Like that, you can do an analysis of these clusters. Similarly, so again, you can save this screenshot. You can change the map according to your convenience, font size, and games and other parameter. Similarly, you can create other analysis based on this. So I suggest you to try out all these analysis individually and understand the method of clustering. That is the most important aspect of yours here. Yours here is based on cluster scales only. Understand the scales. For that, I suggest you to read the manual thoroughly. If you have any doubts, you can ping me anytime. With this, I conclude my session. I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to present to you about the mapping of source. Thanks a lot.